All right, we're waiting on YouTube here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We ought to be pumping right now. Where are we? There we are. This is Wall Street sizing up. This is stocks to watch. We do it. We try to do it every day. We clearly do not, but we do the weekends because I have a little bit more time. I've got an e-com business as well, and that's popping. We've got supply chain issues, so we are feeling demand is up though, right? So small caps, large caps are all feeling the same pinch, and even small businesses. So that being said, a little bit about me. My name's Mark. We run stocktrade.tips that if you went to the website, which that is the website, it would then lead you to our Telegram channel, which is free. We got about 235 people in there, I think is what I saw at last look. We've grown that in about a month and a half. We started from scratch. It's free. We just accept tips. Really, really cool stuff. So if you're a beginner, it's very, very good because clearly I don't know everything, but there's some guys in there that are very, very good. They know options. They know TA. Some know it better than me, and some can spit it out quick. So with that, you are here for basically stocks to watch, but we really just do stocks that we're researching. I am going to give 3 that I like. 2 are from the dark pools, and 1 is from hedge fund or from a hedge fund and from a big, well-known hedge fund. In fact, we'll get into that. So with that being said, I think we're all set. Let's do what we came here to do and get right into it. So we're going to straight to openinsider.com. I think you can see it on the screen there. These are the executive buys for July 30th is what we're looking at. I would tell you to look at CRCT. You had Abadel Capital size up, but they already got a 20% pump, so they are out of that. I will tell you to look at BECN. It's a little more expensive stock. It's at 53. Might be a little bit of a play there. Mind, we've alerted on it before. I don't think we did very well with it, but a director did size up there for 25,000 shares. Is a true penny stock. What else? DRTT. We saw it. I believe there was one on the 29th. We got into it. It got a 3% pump on Friday and then basically just went flat the rest of the day, which is a bullish sign for Monday for it too. Just let you know. And you can see the good uptrend there for it the last really since March. You might look at Vox. Not really excited about it. But what I am excited about is, boom, let me throw this over. So I can't show you the website, but I can show you the big dark pool buys. So if you don't know what dark pools are, because I just got this question yesterday and then I got it like on Tuesday, so I probably need to explain this. Dark pool. A dark pool are these non-public exchanges, meaning non-retail exchanges, right? That literally, even NASDAQ has one, but Goldman Sachs has their own. Morgan Stanley has their own. They all go by this different name. I believe Goldman Sachs' name, their private exchange is called Sigma X, right? And so it's where these companies, and a lot of high frequency trading happens here if they're trading big blocks of stock, right? The problem with them is that nobody sees them. They're very well hidden. They're not transparent, right? And if you want to take it a step further, they're really not any good price discovery because were these big blocks of stock, let's say, as you see on the screen, there's, I forgot to delete this one cell, but if you see here, RPRX, it's a $167 million sell at $38. You don't think that would probably take that stock down quite a bit if it were public? It absolutely would. So that's kind of their whole argument, is that they would really hurt the stock if, these large sells. The buys would pump the stock though. So there's no price discovery. It's just basically the market maker, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, whoever it is, they're just matching a big block of buy and a big block of sell. And then if there's not enough liquidity, they just cut it up. That is the dark pools, right? And so wanted to show you. So I've got two that I like. I like F, which is Ford, and I've got D, which is Dominion Energy. Both were about $20 million, and both were after hours. So they'll be trading this on Monday. And so if we go to it, these are going to look like their charts are going to look a lot, very similar in fact, right? So this is Ford F, doing some really, really cool things. Let me tell you about Ford really quick. So I do own the stock long term. I've got some options on it, which aren't doing very well right now. I think I've got a 917 or 923 option at, I don't even know. It's probably 16, 17 bucks. But anyway, so if you didn't know, their Mustang Mach-E is the second best-selling EV in the U.S. behind Tesla. Then next year they've got the Ford F-150 Lightning coming out that's going to compete with the Cybertruck and Rivian, right? Here's the thing with the Cybertruck. So Elon said next year, right? Well, they're kind of walking that back. It could be 2023 before you see a Cybertruck, just letting you know. And oh, by the way, F-150s are the best-selling car or truck in America, right? The joke goes, what is the best-selling car that people who make over $100,000 drive? It's an F-150. That holds true for if you make over $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. The best-selling car or truck is an F-150, and it's not even close. And so when they electrify it, and this could be in 2022, second half of 2022, when Ford brings these out, I expect them to go nuts. Right now, I wrote this down. They have 120,000 reservations right now. And unlike Tesla, I promise you, every one of those is going to buy. It's not just, $100, right? So I feel good about it. They're being hit by the chip shortage, but I like the stock long term. Okay, I also like it short term. Next day or two, because look at this chart, right? It is in a slight up channel. It has been widening out, but clearly the trend lines are drawn. It's in a downtrend. It just broke out. It broke above the 50-day SMA, and then it pulled back, right? So I guess that's what they're seeing at the end of the day, because they got this at $13.95, and we are at $13.95. So yeah, it wasn't after hours buy. Now this is what the dark pool says. Now the dark pool, just to let you know, it does have to report these, and there's certain things. When I say report, they do have to. There are certain requirements that they have, and the price is one of them. I think the volume and the number of shares, but the buy or sell, they don't have to, and who is doing the buying or selling, they damn sure don't have to. So it's really shitty for the retail investor not to have that price discovery, because clearly they know something that other people don't. What you don't know too is this a swing trade? Now this does look it's shaping up like a swing trade, and it looks like a nice little breakout, and that's what they're betting on Monday. So that's Ford. We like Ford. Let's go to D, Dominion. After hours, Dominion was a $20 million buy, 266,000 shares at $74.87, which is the after hours price. Kind of the same thing here. It's bounced off the trend line, and it literally is, it's literally coming into this cone shape, but the level is right on that trend line. And it's all coming together. So it's going to have to make a decision here. And basically what this hedge fund or fund is betting, whoever put the buy on, is betting that it's going to break, it's going to break up. It's going to go through the 20-day, the 50-day, and potentially the trend line. The trend line's at 76.67. So that's right at $1.90, $1.80 up. Might not do that tomorrow or Monday, but certainly Tuesday and Wednesday. But this is Dominion energy. Now they're utilities, right? They're not a crude play, right? So that really doesn't affect them, even though crude is I believe at an all-time high this year. So check me on that because I saw 76 this morning. So all right, so those are two, and then we had one. Let me go over here. I've pumped the fonts up for you guys so we can. Hey, IEA, not a bad little. I believe it's an ETF or infrastructure. Clearly, they're investing in this because the Biden infrastructure plan is probably going to get put through, which I'm for, except for the little crypto bullshit that they carved out about how they're going to crack down more on crypto. If you haven't heard that, you really need to check on Twitter about what's going on. They're really coming after crypto users. And let me just give you one example. Let's say you went to buy coffee. It's a $10 coffee, right? You bought your Bitcoin. Let's say you bought your Bitcoin at I mean something big, like 17 grand, right? In 2017, you bought it 17 grand, but you've been holding the whole time, right? When you go to spend that with the price being at what 41, 42 this morning, and we'll get to that price action too. But when you go to spend that little $10 triggers not only the sales tax, but also triggers the capital gains tax, and that's what those mofos want to go after. Ridiculous. They like they give credits to the electric vehicles, which Tesla has to have to make a profit. They didn't this quarter or this last quarter, but they're giving credits. Why are they giving credits to crypto? Right? We're doing phenomenal things for the impoverished in different countries. So it's a very short-sighted view to raise what 28 billion when they're going to print, or they want to print 5 trillion on a fucking Tuesday. It's insane. All right, what else we have on here before I get to it? You might look at maps. I'm not real happy about that one. BLND, I believe. What did we say about BLND on the channel? BLND, Tiger Global sized up. You had 16,000 shares, all 100% new. Since the trade, now this I believe at IPO they acquired the trade the shares after the IPO. They got into the trade. The stock dropped, and now it's just going sideways. So I believe they're still in this trade, BLND. Clearly, it's a long-term play, right? They bought 8% of the company after it went public. So we like BLND as well. But the one we're really going to talk about is like STVN as well, but IMGO is a new IPO. And the only reason I want to talk about, so it's not even on FinBiz. I actually had to go to TradingView. This is the 1 hour chart trying to help you guys. But so clearly they went public, I believe, on like the 20th. You can see where it started, about 17, came out at $18, dropped dramatically, got the little bounce, and then it just went basically sideways. And then all of a sudden, the 21st, 22nd, boom, it starts to pump, and here we are. So it's at 1860 right now, and where it had the most buying is exactly where it's at. It's at 1856 mark. This is what you're seeing there. That's the volume. We also have, if you can see here, let me change sides. You can see here at the bottom that the technicals have it as a strong buy, and the indicators have it as a strong buy on the 1 hour. We'll bust this up a little bit. The 4 hour doesn't look great, as there's just not enough information. What's the 1 day look? Yeah, it's just getting so diluted at that point. But it looks like it is going to continue. It's on its way up. That's IMGO. All right, let's get to what are we seeing out there in the wild. So highshortinterest.com. Hasn't changed much. We got Workhorse in second place. Support, which you'll see how all these stocks go into what is being talked about on Reddit, right? And I find it really fascinating because most of the talk there is when it's going to short squeeze, and at what levels does it short squeeze? And that volume that I just showed you, that's where you need to be looking. So if you know how to use TradingView or have used it or know of somebody, that's what you need to be looking at. Swaggy Stocks have not updated this morning. Here it is. Support.com's number one. Atosa, Apple Oven has jumped to 3. That's something you ought to look at. Number 3. XCLA, we trade it every day, down and up on the channel. Not saying it's a great stock. In fact, it was down like 22%. I want to say, if James, you would know, but I believe it was down 22% on Friday. It's crazy. So clearly you've got a lot of crypto in there. I'm trying to find one. Uber has moved up. That's a new one that we hadn't seen. And Torch is still there, which is MMAT now, if you didn't know. All right, so there is that. Wanted to get to, let's go crypto first. Let's see what these markets say. So we're at, we hit 42 this morning. It's backed off to 441. I'm not sure exactly what it's got to hold. I believe it's got to hold. It did have to hold 35 for a couple of days. I think it's going to do that because we're on like the 11th day of a green candle, which is great to see. Maybe even the 12th day. In fact, we'll get that in just a second. Ethereum broke 2,500 ever so slightly, and then it pulled back to the $2,400 level, and now it's at $2,446. There's some trades to be made there. There's some opportunities there, guys. So wanted to go into BTC as it is the market. You can see kind of what I've done here. I've tried to make this as easy to read as possible. I'm looking on the screen here, and what you're going to see on your phone or on your tablet or however you view, probably your phone. All right, so we had it come screaming down. Now this is the daily chart, right? You can see the number of candles going up. We had a red candle because it actually came down this morning. I think it'll go back up. I think the entire crypto market will go back up. I'm not saying it's going to 64,000 anytime soon. It's got to go back down, into some accumulation, and then it'll go back up. I will say this, that I am seeing a lot of coins being moved off of exchanges, except for today. I saw a bunch of ETH being moved from a private wallet to OKX, and that could have been an exchange though. But for the most part, 99% of, and it's I'm trying to remember the Twitter account, whale something, crypto whales, or I'm sure you guys know. So, but anyway, what we're looking at here wasn't a huge downtrend, broke the trend, 12 days up, hard volume is right underneath 40, which is right where you would put a stop loss, right? It's literally right under. It was sitting there on Friday, and then this morning we got the red candle going. It is a buy on the technicals, and on the indicators looks like it's probably headed down a little bit further. Let's hope it maintains 41, and if not 41.40, because I believe that's what it's got to hold. I wish I had more information on that for you guys, but I do not. So, all right, let's get the questions real quick, because I never do. I try to make this as short as possible. Chris Johnson, how you feeling about Robinhood? All right, let's talk about Robinhood. In fact, I've got you something too. I gotta find it on my. Yeah. So here's how I feel about Hood. I'm not a fan, but long term, with the gamification that they've done, and people are going to forget, and they're going to have new users come on, and their UI is phenomenal. Kathy Wood bought like 1.4 million shares at IPO, and then yesterday she bought another 1.4, almost 1.5 million shares for ARC F. I'm looking at it now, and for ARC K. She is all in this, just like she's all in on Coin. She's all in on Hood. So that's kind of where I stand with it. Is like she's looking 5 years down the road. I don't like it, right? I just don't like what they did. I don't like the payment for order flow, which has been causing the question. And in many countries, that is illegal. I think for sure it's illegal in Germany. So I think their business model has some serious problems. I think that, in fact, that their chief legal officer is the highest paid legal, I believe, the highest paid chief legal officer maybe in U.S. equities. He gets $30 million a year. He makes the most in the company, and that includes the two co-founders, right? So they brought him on board specifically just to go public, and they're battling class actions. They're battling the co-founders, and half of the top executive team are in trouble with FINRA. They don't have licenses. I mean, just like Series 6, like your basic licenses that you know a CFP would have or something, right? So I'm not real bullish on Hood right now. I'll just be honest with you. You said you went hard at 33. That's probably a pretty good play because that's exactly where Kathy Wood got it. And she's not the most, or she's not known to be the technical expert, the TA that's more left like the Morgan Stanleys and the hedge funds, right? Who else is good at that? There's one from that's really good at that. But my point is that if you're looking long term, yes, Hood is a good buy. Okay, cool. I don't like Ford vehicles, but I'm liking the stock news. Yeah, I wasn't a real fan of Ford. I drive a Ford F-150. I will tell you mine is a 2012. Could I buy a new one? I could, but they're getting very expensive. Lightning is not going to be cheap. I mean, literally, if you're going to buy a top-of-the-line Lightning F-150, you're going to pay $70 to $90K. My dad, and I'm not flexing here, Dad buys a new F-150 every year, and he probably pays $75,000 to $85,000 a year for a freaking truck. Yeah, but they're that good, they're that popular, and that's why you gotta like Ford. The semiconductor chip shortage, which that's all you hear about on Bloomberg, is hear about the chip shortage and the Delta variant. That's all you hear about, right? And that's great and good. I need to hear that news. I don't need it crammed down my throat. Which I'm sure CNBC does that too, but that's too much of a puppet show for me. At least Bloomberg gives it to me straight. They may give me too much, but they give it to me straight. Whereas CNBC's got just actors on there, and we all know about Kramer. So, all right, guys. With that being said, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you following me. Please do. If you're not a member of the Telegram, it's simple. Just get on Telegram, search for stocktrade.tips, and jump in. Again, we've got 230 members. I've got about 15 that are active. So if you watch this, get active. You can ask questions. We don't know everything. Clearly, if you watch this, you'll know that I don't know everything. Nobody does, right? There's some guys, maybe not in this show, there's guys that I watch that claim to make $80,000 a month. And in listening to them talk, I have no doubt, and some I know that are just shysters. By the way, Grant Cardone, not throwing him under the bus, but there's been class action lawsuits filed against him. Go look at Jordan Belfort had him on his podcast, and they kind of got into it. So pretty interesting stuff. So you got to watch out for the charlatans that claim to know everything. If they walk in with a cell phone saying $83 million, I'm buying this, blah, 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 and in front of, 20 people, that might be a red flag. With that said, guys, I could go on and on all day, but I will not. I'll spare you. Watch your six. You go hard in the paint. We will see you Monday, and we're going to trade hard. And don't forget, we do Power Hour, the last hour of every trading day. It really shouldn't be called Power Hour. What it should be called is YOLO. I don't even know what I lost, like $13, $20 on Friday. We're just throwing pizza money at stocks that just rocket up, right? Sometimes you, like on Thursday, I forget the stock now. Was it DTCC? Whatever it was. It from when I got in, it went up 23%. Actually went up about 33%, and then I sold on the pullback. But it's a lot of fun. Jump in there, guys. Really appreciate it. Again, watch your six, go hard in the paint.